Joy John, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. She's joining us from Belcrest Institute, Washington, D.C. Joy, you're welcome again.
Thanks for having me.
Grand. Now, Joy, why this latest shift in visa policy, and what are your thoughts on the timing? Go ahead, Joy.
Okay. Well, I think that the shift reflects the standard. There's a delay in transmission, but I'll take that again. I mean, if you can hear me, just tell me you can hear me loud and clear.
Go ahead.
I think that there's a shift, that the shift reflects a standard global practice of aligning visa reciprocity. It's one thing to think it's punitive. It may not be. I know that the U.S. reviews country by country benchmarks, and this new part of the ongoing process it's something we just have to take as it goes. The timing, of course, coincides with technical adjustments, and I don't think it's a bilateral breakdown at this moment, but we'll see how it goes and how Nigeria responds to it.
So it's very interesting, the dynamics here. One has to wonder whether it's a security suggestion or whether it's a diplomatic issue here. We understand that most of the affected visas will now be limited to single entry of 3 months each. That's the validity period. So does it look like a security measure, or to you does it seem like a diplomatic issue?
I want to be very clear that I don't speak for any government. But from where I sit, it could be interpreted in various ways. These things are really about one issue. And when you say security, for instance, what is the yardstick being used to measure it? There are questions being asked. What matters at this point, I think, is one, how Nigeria responds to it. The lines of communication are now open. When countries keep talking, especially countries with strong ties, like the U.S. and Nigeria, almost anything can be resolved. And of course, diplomacy at its best, of course, brings everything back to the table and finds a way forward.
So for many in Nigeria, the United States is a traditional ally. So should it have been reciprocity or approachment? Which should it have been?
It's a fair concern, but reciprocity doesn't negate partnership in this context. In diplomacy, adjustments like these don't weaken relationships. They actually invite collaboration, bringing people to the table. I believe the U.S. remains deeply committed to Nigeria's successes and values. I hope that is true in Trump 2.0. But we'll see how it goes, and I'm looking forward to how Nigeria will react to this. I will state one thing, that back to your earlier question, I know that the Ministry of Interior has rolled out a few impressive policies, and it's out there in the public domain. And when you talk about, for instance, single entry, there are different prices. So when someone is traveling for a 1-week visit to Nigeria, why would I want to pay for 5 years if I just want to just pop in and pop out? So that's that. So I know they do have different categories on there. And the Ministry of Interior has put out some policies there. So we want to see how Nigeria responds or explains their position and where they meet at the table. So let's see how it rolls out in days to come.
All right. Finally,
and of course,
Joy,
the views from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is something I'm looking forward to hearing too. The Nigeria's Ministry for Foreign Affairs.
All right. Great. So how would this then also impact trade relations between Nigeria and the United States, seeing that they're major trading partners anyway?
Could you repeat that?
I just asked how this is going to affect trade relations between Nigeria and the United States.
I don't think it's likely to derail trade between both countries. Economic cooperation thrives on mutual interest. And I think both countries recognize the importance of keeping those channels open. Nigeria is a strong nation, a powerful nation, a great nation, and it's a great ally in the African continent. I think that policy recalibration on visas does not change the underlying value of the U.S.-Nigeria commerce at this time.
Well, Joy John, I want to say thank you very much for joining us to expand on this issue. Thank you indeed.